worried about those guys.
But you know what? Anybody in the government that could stand up against them, and they use remote viewer assassination techniques on them, you'll see people dying of brain hemorrhages, of tumors, of diseases. And these are all induced by remote viewing assassins.
Mm-hmm.
And they can do this stuff. I'm going to have this guy come on and explain it on the show next week or the week after. I'm going to have him come on and explain how they do it. But these government officials disappear. They die left and right. That's how they do it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, because the plane crash thing's getting old. And how many people could ski into a tree?
Yeah, that's right.
You know, so that they come up with different ways of getting rid of people they want out. And it just so happens that right now the religious people aren't real high on that list right now. They're getting rid of their own. But when they do, and they start coming after the religious people, you know, definitely there's going to be the Antichrist war and the saints here in this country.
Uh-huh.
And then people are going to realize they've been lied to. They've been following false theology, listening to false hopes and promises about revivals coming and everything else. And the Lord has said His judgment is coming on this nation. He hasn't changed His mind.
Right.
You know, and there's nobody here that could stand and say we don't deserve it. We don't agree with what our government has done, but they've killed millions of babies and innocent people in Iraq and the Middle East. And these countries that just wanted to be left alone, they've gone over and bullied to death. And these aren't even true Americans running our government.
Right.
They're not true government. They're not true Americans.
The people
they were true on our government years ago.
Right.
And so the constitutional patriots that made this country are just sitting here with their hands tied. There's not much we can do.
Mm-hmm.
But we're going to pay for it. We're going to end up suffering out of the judgment of the things that they've done.
Mm-hmm.
You know? So, I don't know. It's just one mess after the next. You know? That's not going to get any better. And that's why I keep telling people, you know, strengthen your spirits in the Lord.
Uh-huh.
Get ready to dig in. Get ready to run. Because once they start declaring martial law in cities in America, it will never go back to normal. They will never stop. It's just going to go from one city to the next. Be a domino effect.
Right. Hey, have you ever heard of a gentleman named Lindsey Williams? He was the pastor who, when they did that oil, what was that, Alaskan pipeline?
Yeah.
He was the pastor that they brought on, and he said, I'm going to send it to you. It's a 1-hour interview of he was rubbing elbows with these guys. He was literally in the room, you know, with the players, the people who were calling the shots in this world, and he was saying that he just couldn't believe what he was hearing. And as far as the price of gas right now, he was saying that not only did he hear what he heard, but what they're trying to do with this gas, the price of gas, that there's really not a shortage, but what they want to do in America is eliminate the middle class and bring it down to basically a third world country. And we're going to be seeing gas within the next couple of years, he says, going to like 5 and 6, possibly higher a gallon.
Yeah, well, you know what, it's heading that way because,
this country.
you know, with the Chinese working for 14-hour days for $100 a month slave labor, we're buying 80% of our products now we're importing from China. And I was reading that today, 80% of the toys. And then all these different higher percentages of other things that we use every day, buy every day, coming in from China because all of our jobs have gone overseas.
Right.
The only way America is going to be able to compete in a global market is to do the same, go into slave labor.
That's right.
And that's what they want. That's what the Illuminati wants. They've got their high rich elite being served by slaves.
It's going to be the haves and the have-nots.
Yeah, you know what, and the thing is, if these people, this Illuminati, so intent on destroying billions of people off this earth so they can have it to themselves, why don't they just move to an island? Go buy an island. Go sit on an island. Leave everybody else alone.
Oh, because that's not enough. And, you know, even though they think they're enlightened, they know how to rule mankind, they may not know it. I don't know if they actually think that they are doing what's best for mankind, or if I think they're being played by evil. But
you know what? What's the point of being rich if nobody envies your wealth?
Yeah.
You know, what's the point of having everything in the world and being rich to these people? Because there's not going to be anybody around that they can feel rich over.
Right. No, I mean
they can't. They can't tout their wealth because there's going to be nobody to care.
And you know, when I first realized that 12 years ago what these people are capable of, it really, I had to ask myself the same questions. What is the point? You know, really, what is the point? The bottom line question that I came down to, I didn't even know about God. I mean, I didn't know if it was a God, but when I came to that one question, it was so disturbing to me deep down in my soul. Obviously, I didn't know at the time I had one, but something got to me. And when people really start to understand what's really going on, it can be very devastating. And if you don't have a spiritual foundation, it'll drive you insane.
Yeah. Well, you know what? The man with the most toys still dies.
Ain't that the truth? Ain't that the truth? Thank God. You know, humbling.
They still die. You know.
Hey, let me ask you something. The 2012 calendar, the Mayan calendar. What's your understanding of what's going to happen then? Or have you done any research on that yet?
Well, I don't agree with the Mayans because they were hybrids.
Right.
But I'll agree with the timeline.
Uh-huh. Right, you don't agree with what they're saying, but you think their timeline's got something going on.
Yeah, well, the timeline is, from what I've seen from the Bible codes, is right on.
Right. So what does 2012 represent? The beginning of tribulation or what? No,
2012, I see the second coming of Christ, the real one.
Oh, you think he's coming around that time?
Yeah.
Wow.
Armageddon will start in 2011.
Mm-hmm.
Well, actually, Armageddon is just like a World War III on into it.
So you believe we're in tribulation now, then? You have to, because the Bible says 7 years, although there's our passages we talked about before where Christ said he's shortened the days for the elect's sake.
No, yeah, he's not shortening the days. There's still going to be 365 a year. It's going to shorten the twilight hours because the sun's going to be so hot people couldn't survive.
I'm talking about when the enemy himself, Lucifer, Satan, when he's on this planet himself, I know you told me that he shortened the days himself so we wouldn't burn up or something like that.
Yeah, because he's allowed to rule for 1,260 days. He's going to take every day.
Right.
But people misinterpret that. I don't believe he's going to shorten the days as being 3.5 years gets shortened to 2.5 years or 3 years. I think that the daylight itself is shortened because the sun is going to be so fierce.
I understand what you're saying. That's your opinion, right? Isn't that don't we all just kind of have to? I mean, it doesn't say that. That is something you could draw from that, or maybe he did shorten the days for the elect's sake.
Yeah. Well, you know what? We're going to find out.
Yeah. There's some different of it, huh?
I don't have a thus saith the Lord on it, but we'll find out. You know?
Right. True.
You know, I just, you know, he's allotted 1,260 days, and so I just think he's going to be, you know, he would be on it. That doesn't have to mean it's sunlight the whole time he's ruling.
Uh-huh.
He's ruling mostly in the dark. Of course, they prefer the dark anyway.
Uh-huh.
You know, but I'm personally going to find out. I'm personally planning on being here one way or the other. You know, I know my head's on the chopping block. There's no doubt about that.
Yeah. Anybody who's got something to say that's value to the masses, that's for sure.
Well, you know, I'm not going to live in fear, and whether I live or die, I'm going to live and die in honor for him, you know. That's all it is. We're here for one lifetime to choose who we're going to follow, choose who we're going to serve, choose the things we're going to do, choose who our priority is and what our priorities are. And so many people put the things of this life as their priorities. You know, you ask somebody to you know, oversee or moderate, you know, forum or something, and instead of building rewards and having people well, I don't have time, I've got household, I've got housework, I've got this, I've got kids. You know what, I've got 4 kids.
But that's all by design, you know.
I got 4 kids and I run 19 sites, now 2 radio shows.
Uh-huh.
I don't want to hear about time.
Oh, you're married, aren't you?
Yeah.
Okay, well, look at the rest of society.
I've got 5 kids.
Society isn't married. There's women out there left and right that carry the weight of the world on their shoulders, and you got men who won't do what they're supposed to. I mean, these women got to take care of their